Running off the rails. Running off the rails.
How's it going, brother?
I'm well, and you?
Good, man. Bro, you are probably the most happiest jockey I know, because you're always smiling, you're always in a good mood, like you're always smiling. Every time I see you, bro, I know that I'm gonna get good vibes from you.
Yeah, it's also, I got a good family structure.
Yeah.
Obviously I got two boys, my wife, big supporters of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And on a race day, I'm very passionate about the game.
Yeah.
And, today I'm here for a job.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So you was funny enough. You were speaking off air before you started that it was your eldest son's birthday.
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah, it's actually, his birthday's actually next week.
Oh yes,
He
the
turns
party
8,
was
but
yesterday.
the party was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun with all his friends,
Mm.
He hasn't had one because of lockdown and stuff.
Yes.
And this was the first one in I think 2 years now, where it's normally it's just me and his mom and the little boy,
Yeah.
and now it was myself, my wife and her family, and a couple of my son's friends.
Mm-hmm. How's it being a father, man?
It's
How's
different.
fatherhood?
It's different. Every day you're learning. It's different vibes,
Yeah.
Every day it's tough because you gotta sacrifice a lot
Yeah.
as a dad,
Yeah.
but it's all part of the territory.
Now, Sean, I want us to speak about where you grew up, because I remember when we spoke with you, I was sitting in the car with you with Tristan, and you told me about how you grew up in Mitchell's Plain, and how of a tough neighborhood that place is. Can you just give me a little bit of a story of how growing up in Mitchell's Plain was back then for you?
Growing up in Mitchell's Plain, it was obviously tough because we were 6 boys, and we had 3 bedrooms, obviously, and we had to all share a room, and my family did the best they could.
Yeah.
Obviously, it took us out of Delft to go and stay in Mitchell's Plain, which was even more of a blessing for us because obviously it made us stronger in life, and it showed us the ropes to be fair to Mitchell's Plain. It's not an easy lifestyle, but it's what you make of it. If it wasn't for my father, I'd probably been big gangster or something. But because obviously, like I told you just now, the crowd you hang out with, I have a lot of friends who's passed away due to drugs and obviously gangsterism.
Yeah.
But
Does that like affect you? Do you ever think of?
I'm always that guy who thinks I could have done more for my friends.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I got an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I took it.
Yes.
With both hands. Obviously, I didn't want to.
You didn't want to?
No, but
become a jockey?
my father actually persuaded me.
Yeah.
3 months into my stunt here in the academy, I want to leave the academy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't enjoy it. And then, obviously, something clicked. And then things changed.
So now in Mitchell's Plain, when you were before you considered becoming a jockey, like what was the crowd that you were hanging out shaped like?
Obviously the crowd we hang around with, what I was hanging around with was quite a bunch of bad guys,
Yeah.
But at the same time, they were looking after themselves. Like I did, I looked after myself. I left Mitchell's Plain, and I took my life to the next level, And I'll forever be grateful that my dad gave me the opportunity to go to the academy, to show my potential that I can ride a horse and stuff.
So the guys that who are your friends, or some of them that were your friends who have passed away, unfortunately. So what stuff were they doing after? Obviously, you left them and you went to the academy. But like, what were some things that they were getting involved in?
Like my actual best friend was one of the biggest leaders in Cape Town.
Of a gang?
Yeah, of a gang.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He used to, obviously, when we were growing up, sell the drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, got higher rank did his thing he needed to do to be higher ranked than what he's supposed to be. And then obviously he also got killed.
He got murdered.
He also selling drugs, and he got murdered. At the same time, he had 3 kids he left behind. So in that perspective, a lot of my friends, I think about maybe 4 of them, we were all very close as friends. Obviously we grew up together, all went to the same schools, and then things changed, you know, drugs changed, coming a little bit more naughtier, and trying things, experimenting, you know. I can touch wood. In my family, drugs was never allowed. So in that perspective, I never ever took drugs.
Yes.
But obviously I was a big drinker. Big drinker.
Yeah, you know, it just gives us it just gives a perspective that you also could have like went down that road where you know of crime and being in a gang. You know, I think racing really saved you, for lack of a better word. But you know, it I can't even imagine where you would be, because just by explaining, and it's really it actually very much fascinates me that your background is so interesting. You know what I mean? And how things could have panned out. You know, things could have, you probably might not even be alive. Who knows? You know. And I'm sure you're grateful, and when you look at it and you think about it, and you think, damn, I could have been a gangster, and look at me now. And how does that make you feel?
You know, I'm forever grateful to my dad, because we're a very sporty family. I can play all sports. So when I went to the academy, it was different. It wasn't something I was good at. But I had to start at the bottom, you know, and work my way to sort of sustaining myself to be able to stay in the academy. And obviously once you got the passion and stuff, everything was, it was different. Yeah. And to be fair, if I was still in Cape Town, like you said, I would have probably been murdered by now, because of the crowd I was with and the people I hanged around with. Might have been different. Might have been a big. Yeah.
Before you joined the academy, what were you doing with the you know, when you were young? I know we all man, when in my neighborhood when I was growing up, it wasn't like it wasn't a bad neighborhood, and it wasn't like a good neighborhood. It was just like a middle class, moderate neighborhood. We'd jump over fences of houses that were you know, vacant with no people living in there. We'd go in there, you know, get some grapes from the trees and apples, and swim if we're swimming, or do whatever. We were kids, you know, boys will be boys. So we got up to some nonsense as well. But what were you doing with your friends, you know, in Mitchell's Plain, considering that Mitchell's Plain is such a it's very, I don't know, like, it's different, you know?
You know, it's like we were all very sporty. A lot of my friends all used to play sport. Obviously the school we went to was a sporty school. And we were all sort of into our sport more than anything else. And obviously it just took one of the friends to find out about drugs and stuff and can make money. Because you must know, in Mitchell's Plain there's not a lot of rich people. But obviously it's what you make of it. And everybody wants everything. So a lot of the guys obviously found out selling drugs, easy money, quick money. And that's how they went about their business.
And how old were you at the time?
At that time I was 12.
12,
So, and obviously we were playing. I'm a very good baseball player. Obviously I like soccer, but my passion was baseball. I had to sacrifice going to Canada with the baseball team to go to the academy, which I wasn't happy for.
Are you serious?
But at the same time, I was forever grateful that my dad made that change for me.
So you almost went to America?
To Canada.
To Canada, sorry.
To represent South Africa.
In baseball?
In baseball, yeah. Under 14.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Geez, that's something that I'm finding that out now. And even I didn't even know that baseball was actually a sport that could take you overseas in South Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, baseball in Mitchell's Plain and all in South, basically in South Africa, even in Durban, there's a lot of teams here
Yeah.
that play baseball. And to represent your country is obviously
Yeah.
phenomenal.
It's a big
Like
deal.
I've got my Western Province colours for representing Western Province
Yeah.
in 3 age groups, where as I was growing up, because I was very passionate about it. It was my game.
Did you play rugby when you were in
No,
school?
I never played rugby.
you
I
don't
played
fin-
soccer.
Yeah, you put up in a great scrummer.
I played I played hockey.
Yeah.
Played obviously baseball. Baseball was like at the highest level.
Yeah.
That was my passion, was baseball.
Yeah.
And obviously went to the academy. I'm not used to cleaning up.
Yeah,
you know?
horses and everything.
After the horses and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I actually grew into horses
Into
more
horses.
than anything.
So was there rugby at your school?
There wasn't rugby at the school where we were at. There was just hockey
Yeah, and
Soccer
soccer and baseball.
and baseball. Yeah.
Sure.
And obviously basketball, but
Yeah.
we won't go that way.
Yeah, man, it's very interesting. Finding out about Mitchell's playing, and it's just because it's a different life, and it makes you who you are. And I really respect the person that you are. You're a hard worker. I respect people that work very hard, because I think of myself as a hard worker as well. So I like speaking to people who work hard, just to find out more about what makes them the man that they are and what makes them successful. You know what I mean? So that was it's really interesting. So when like back in the day in Mitchell's Plain, when you were like 12 and your friends were going into drugs and different things, what was your father doing? And what was your family, life for them at the time?
Life for my family was always hard. Obviously, my mom was the breadwinner after my father lost his leg.
Your father lost his leg?
Yeah, due to sugar, his sugar diabetes.
Yes.
And they had to amputate his leg. But at the same time, like they say, you were crew.
Yeah.
We were always a crew.
Yes.
There was never less than 10, 15 of us at a time.
Yes.
And at that time, we all have bicycles.
Yes.
So, we were called, we used to call ourselves the roadmasters.
Aware.
So, that was growing up as a boy, as a youngster, riding bikes was also a passion of mine.
Yeah.
I'm quite good on a bike.
Yeah. BMX?
Yeah, BMX.
Can you do tricks?
Do tricks and everything.
Oh,
So,
nice.
I'm very, like my passions before coming to riding horses was obviously baseball and riding bicycles.
Yes.
That was my main thing.
I'm thinking now, it seems like you did a lot of things growing up as a lighty, and it just shows how much energy you had. You know what I mean? And looking at your son now, Cody, he's like a bouncing ball. You can't catch him. He's there. He's got a lot of energy. You were probably like that as well growing up.
No, when I was growing up, I have a lot of energy. Even still now, I got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But it's like they say, when you sit still, you fall asleep.
Mm.
The energy always comes out. But my younger one actually got more energy than myself and Cody put together. So he keeps us all on our toes.
Yeah.
But, that's part of growing up.
What's his name? The
Troy.
youngest? Troy.
Yeah.
Yo.
So that's the main reason I'm doing what I'm doing. It's for them.
Exactly.
Make a nice life for them. Give them what I never had.
Yeah.
Because obviously we were 6 boys.
Yes.
But I'm trying to give them the best life that I can give them.
Yeah. So now you get into the academy, and obviously, for the people that don't know, how did you actually get into the academy? I remember that you said that your father used to go to the races a lot.
Yeah, my dad, I can't call him a punter because he used to pay 5 rand bets and 10 rand bets.
Yeah.
But I think it was more of his passion.
Yeah.
And he gave me the opportunity to go with him one day to Kenilworth Centre, and I actually didn't enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it? How many siblings did you have at the time?
No, we're 6 boys. I'm the
Six
second.
boys?
I'm the second youngest.
Yes.
So obviously, myself and my father are always close. Regardless, we were always close. And he obviously said, "No, come. I must go with him and must see something." Obviously, I went for the interview.
Yeah.
First interview I went to, they said to me, "Oof, you everything we want."
Yeah.
I said because at the time when I went to academy, I weighed 23 kilos.
And what year was this? Before, like, when you're doing all these tests and everything?
It was in 2000. No, it was 2017, I think.
Sure. Didn't you enter the academy at 2001?
2001. Sorry.
So it was 1997.
1997.
Yeah.
That's when I went for like the real tests and stuff like that.
How old are you?
My first test I did, I was 13.
I was born. I was getting born in that time, 1997. That's when I was born.
Making me sound old, yeah. But obviously then I went, and then they said to me I must come back next year
Yeah.
because at that time I was too young.
Yeah.
So then at the end of the year, obviously things started going wild in Mitchell's Plain.
Like, how do you mean?
Like gangs, shootings,
Yeah.
and murderers. And
Yeah.
obviously 2 of my best friends got killed at the same time.
So sorry to cut you off there. When the gangs are fighting, Sean, I just want to get an understanding. When the gangs are having wars, what is it about? You know?
It's about turf, drugs.
Yeah.
You know, it's more for power.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's more for power.
So the bigger the more turf a gang has, the
More
more they
drugs
can
they can
sell
sell.
drugs and do more. So the more money they get.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you had 6 brothers.
Yeah, we're 6 brothers.
And
6
are
boys.
any of them involved in like any gangs or anything?
No,
like that?
none of them. None of them are in gangs, you know. But we know a lot of people
Yeah.
in the gangs and stuff. But
Yeah.
like friends and stuff. But other than that, none of us
Yeah.
ever became.
Yeah, and I'm just asking this because I'm really interested. Like I said, I'm interested in your background and like a lot of people who are watching. You know, we
Mhm.
want to find out more about Sean, and you know what makes you the person that you are. You said you had 6 brothers. You still do have 6 brothers. And how is it now living in the house with 6 other boys? You know, energies are high, testosterone and all of that. I'm sure you guys used to get in a lot of fights.
You know what? To be honest, we never really fought with each other.
Yeah.
Like obviously your oldest ones, they would always like just keep us, you know, like
Yeah.
tell us, hey, that's not the right thing or something like that. You know, my eldest brothers, for them growing up, they used to get hidings.
Mhm.
Obviously, we were the young 3. We never got really hidings, but when you got a hiding, you knew you got a hiding.
Yeah.
Like there, you can't do these things. You
Yeah.
can't take your son and just give him a hiding. You know, it's not the same.
What do you mean?
Like when we were growing up,
Oh yes.
obviously, my dad was hard on us,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it made me a better person. I got to respect a lot of people. Obviously, coming from Mitchell's Plain, I don't respect no one, and
Yeah.
I'm not worried for anybody.
Exactly.
So, in that perspective, it actually helped me,
Yeah.
my mannerism and things like that. Because I could also have been a way out of hand kid.
Yeah.
And thanks to my father, obviously my late father,
Mm.
he kept us all on our toes.
Yeah. May his soul rest in peace. So your oldest brother, how old is he? How older? How many years older than you?
No, I think he's turning 48
48.
or 50. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ask ages, but it's a big gap between all of us.
Yeah.
It's obviously you got the eldest 3, which my eldest is 48, then I think 46, then 43, then I think my other brother's 38, and then obviously me, I'm 36, and then my younger brother's 35.
And how do they feel about you riding and all that? Do you communicate all the time?
You know, we're always talking. My eldest brother, I think, is probably my biggest supporter because he's passionate, and obviously all my brothers are passionate about the game. My 3rd eldest brother, him and his wife, also very, very passionate. They're forever watching, screaming, obviously.
Are they passionate because of you or even before that?
No, obviously with me riding, it makes it more
Yeah.
for all of them, you know,
Yeah.
to enjoy it, because they get to watch me,
Mm-hmm.
and we hardly see each other. Obviously, with COVID, even less now.
Are they still in Mitchell Plain?
Still in Mitchell's Plain and stuff.
Do you ever go back there?
Yeah, I stay there when we used to go down with Mr. Dries also to Cape Town.
Yeah.
I used to go and stay in Mitchell's Plain, catch up friends, family, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's you know, like a lot of people look at me like that kid who made a better life for himself.
Yes,
You
the
know,
one who got out.
yeah, the one who got out. That's the
Yeah.
word I was looking for.
I'd
The
love
one
to
who-
actually go there. I'd love to go there just to see the culture and experience the place.
You know, it's normal
Yeah.
until it gets dark,
Yeah.
and then things change. You know,
yeah.
obviously everybody comes out at night.
yes.
But like I took my wife there. Obviously, she had to meet my family.
Mhm.
Took her to Cape Town. She got to meet one or two big gangsters also.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, friends, family, what she got to meet.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, she was like carried like a queen there.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously I'm that kid
Yes. They
what
have to respect her.
turned my life around,
Mm.
because where I was at the time, like I said to you, I'd have probably been a gangster, no doubt in my mind.
Yes.
I
And,
don't-
and then, sorry to cut you off there, Sean. And the guys that you grew up with, the like you said, the gang leaders and other friends that you grew up with back in the day, when they see you now, they respect you because they say, I'm sure they feel that, you know what, Sean, you made a better life for yourself, and we stuck here. You know, this is how we know. This is all we know. You know, so even though you got out, it doesn't mean that you're not one of us anymore.
No.
You're still our friend. We respect you. We're not gonna, you know, put up a middle finger at you and say, why did you leave us, right?
No, you know, like there's like 4 of my close friends. Obviously, there's one I still keep in contact with. We speak to each other like, say, twice a week maybe by SMS or something.
Yeah.
But like my couple of my other friends who passed away,
Yes.
they when I used to go home, we would like have a braai and stuff, and even they're standing with their pieces on them
Yeah.
and sort of protecting what is their piece.
Yes.
But like at that, like my father was very well respected
Yeah.
by the gangsters in Cape Town.
So now, Sean, what's the conversation that you have now? You know, once your career has started taking off, and you obviously still communicate with your friends from Mitchell's Plain. What conversations would you still have? You know, when you're talking to your friends.
No, we just find out how our families are doing, how their families are doing, and check how we're doing. You know, we mainly check on how we're doing with each other. But other than that, it's mainly just talking about our families and stuff.
Yeah, because you know, I've got friends. I got a home in Umlazi. I was there on Friday night. I went to go see my mom and my sister, my little brother, my nephew. Umlazi, you know Umlazi. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just like Mitchell's Plain. There's gangsters. There's you know, they used to steal cars and literally park them in front of my house and strip them and take out the tracker. We've seen gunfights with the police. We've seen helicopters coming down to shoot these guys. We've seen it all. You know, my uncle, he used to sell weed. He used to like have a back room at the back of my granny's house and sell weed there, and he's been to prison. My other uncle just came out of prison, so it's crazy. You know, I can relate to what you're saying. I understand. You know, I've got that background as well. And when I was there on Friday, unfortunately, I heard true story. Right, you won't believe this. I heard that my cousin beat up his sister. Right. Now he's older than me by 2 years, and his older sister, he's drinking, you know, he's literally, well, not literally, but he's just got no direction in what he's doing from what I'm seeing. And I'm not trying to speak badly about him, but it's just he's a product of his environment, you know. It's crazy what happens there. So the point I was trying to make is that when I go there, sometimes I feel the urge to want to help them. Want to help them and say, you know what, man, there's actually a better life outside of Umlazi. You can. There's things you can do. You can go and get a job. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You try and help them to get out of the environment they're in, because there's nothing good that can come out of there. Do you ever have those conversations, or do you used to? Because I know you can get tired of it. You can like, this is nonsense. It's not going to work.
Like, you can always help somebody, but at the same time, every time you're talking to somebody about the same thing, it's going in the one side and going out the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like a couple of my friends before, I would tell them, but it's not a life, this. But it's all they know. You understand?
Yes.
They've been brought up in Mitchell's Plain as young kids, obviously 7, 8 years old. Then life really starts for you.
Yes.
When you're young, it's fine. But when you're 7, 8, start hanging with the wrong crowd, they end up using the younger kids to do the dirty work. And obviously that's how a lot of my friends got into drugs and stuff. Obviously, at the same time, is what you make of it. Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you were able to get out of it. I'm really interested about Mitchell's Plain, man. Like I said, I want to go there. But one more question before we move out of that topic. Well, I want to do a documentary on that with you. We should go do a documentary, take you to Mitchell's Plain and document how where you grew up, and the area that you came out of, and the people that you left there, your friends and other gang members. I think it'll be really nice. Now, the last question I want to ask you said that they'd use kids, and then the kids end up getting caught up in this web of crime. Like, what would they ask the kids to do at age like 11, 12?
You see, when you're a young guy, you don't have money. A guy comes to you, says, hey, there's 100 rand. Just hold this bag for me. Meanwhile, the cops won't search you. They'll search the older person. So you don't know what's in the bag.
Yeah.
But you don't have money. Guys giving you 100 rand to hold the bag. What you gonna do? You're gonna hold the bag,
Yeah.
Or the guy's gonna tell you, hey, take your bike. Here's a bag. Take your bike and just ride.
Yeah.
And then come back just now with the bag. So you don't check in the bag, obviously. You take the bag and you go ride and you come back. And the guy gives you a little bit more. It just depends on what's in the bag, and you don't know because you're young.
Yes.
Some kids obviously check what's in the bag and then
yeah.
But 90% of the kids don't check. They're naive, so they're looking, hey, the guy's giving me 100 rand, I can play games, I can buy sweets for me and my family. That's how life is.
Buy bread, some of them want to buy bread and
100% buy stuff to put on the bread. That's how life is there.
And for those kids, they actually feel macho. They feel good. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a big boy. You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
Because I know when I used to hang out in my neighborhood, I used to hang out a lot with the older guys, like very old. I'm talking like 5 years, 6 years older than me. They used to send me to go and buy them cigarettes and do this and do that. I remember one time, true story. They sent me to go. My mom was having a little party at our house, and she had a group of friends and had beers and ciders and all that. So my friends were sitting outside at the street over there, and then they just sent me to go steal, I think 2 quarts of beer. so they sent me. I'm a little kid. I'm like 10, 9, 8. Somewhere there, very small, and you can't not see a quart underneath a 10-year-old's t-shirt. So my mom catches me and said, what are you doing? And she gives me a hiding, man. It was crazy, bro. So Sean, let's talk about the academy and riding. When I was reading up on you, bro, I saw that you had a great. How was it in the beginning of like after you graduated from the academy?
Sure.
When you had all of this money coming in and you were riding, people were giving you attention and wanting a piece of you, trainers giving you attention and seeing that you are very talented. I'm sure that was messing up with your mind a bit.
You know what? In the academy, they never taught us about money or anything. And where I came from, I never had money.
Yes.
So then obviously I graduated, came out with this lump sum, bought whatever, walked into any shop, bought whatever I wanted. By then I already thought, what is this? This is the life, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously I was in Durban, I think, for like 6 months. Then obviously I got offered the job of Vaughan Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Cape Town for a year, which was like best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I got to partner a couple of decent horses.
Yes.
I did many winners for Mr. Marshall. But at the same time, I rode many winners. I drank many more, you know.
Yeah.
I drank a lot. And it nearly cost me my career.
Yes.
And obviously, I had to just make a change in life.
So how old were you when you moved to Cape Town? Was this immediately after your graduation?
I was 21 when I moved. I was a year out of my time before I moved there.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I was a young guy.
You were handsome, you were young, you know.
I have my own place.
Yeah.
I have a car.
You have a car. You
Got
know,
a lot of friends.
You got a lot of money. The ladies, that's the ideal guy for the ladies.
And you know, I would always host parties, obviously. And my father always said to me, please, I need you to stop drinking. Even if it's the last thing you do. And I was like, what is this old man talking about?
Yeah.
But today I'm forever grateful for him. Because when I left Cape Town, I drove here. I had only a car. I had whatever I was wearing was what I had. I had absolutely nothing. And at that time, obviously, I had a lot of friends when I was drinking.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, lost everything. Had to restart from over.
Yeah.
In Kone, Orfa obviously gave me the opportunity to come and stay by him.
And he was your best friend at the time?
Yeah. And obviously, I had nothing. He gave me basically whatever he could give me. Gave me clothes, all of that. So I basically restarted. And then, obviously, Duncan House gave me opportunity to restart my life again.
Yes.
But at the time I was heavy from all the drinking.
Yes.
So I had to go on diet first.
Yeah.
Because when I got the job with Duncan, I weighed 59 kilos. And then when I left Duncan House, I could ride 52.
Wow.
So, you know, it was a good stunt. Obviously got opportunities. In our game, the more winners you ride, the more people see you.
Yes.
If you don't ride winners, everybody forgets you.
Exactly.
So as long as I can ride a winner meeting or miss one and ride the next meeting one, people will always remember me.
Yeah. So when you were in Cape Town, were you like recognized if you go to a place? This was back in 2002, 2003, where racing was more popular then than it is now, right?
You know, I was that kid who came from Durban, trying to make a name for myself. At the same time, there was big jockeys in Cape Town already. So it was tough for me. But at the same time, I could hold my own with them.
Yeah.
And I rode many winners there. And I don't think a lot of the people liked me because...
So you did well in Cape Town?
Yeah, no, I did very well in Cape Town. I rode many winners. Obviously, you can't go to work every day and you don't know what you're doing because you're drunk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will always be grateful to Mr. Marshall for the opportunity. Yeah. And you know, we still got that good relationship now where when he comes here, I always help him. He always throw me something here and there. And
you rode linebacker, right?
No, I rode Rascallion and I rode Black Nap for the season for him. So, you know, we go way back and he knows me when I was at my lowest, and obviously now I'm doing well for myself, you know. Yeah.
Yo, I'm sure you had some good times in Cape Town. I'm sure, because Cape Town is such a beautiful place. It's a country of its own, and I'm sure you had some really, really good memories from the time that you were there.
You know what? Of what I remembered, because 90% of the time I would drink so much that I wouldn't know what goes on. I would be paying for things but not knowing what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have very good memories of Cape Town.
Yeah.
My family, spending time with my family, have my mom and dad come to watch me on a Saturday in Cape Town. That for me was still my highlight. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
That was still my highlight. And my mom them got to see me ride winners in Cape Town. So, and obviously my family, whenever I'm riding in Cape Town, they are full up.
Yeah.
We're full up in Cape
And they
Town.
shouting.
When you have a winner, everybody knows that Sean Veale rode a winner.
Yeah.
Because the family support is phenomenal.
Oh man, that's lovely, man. So now, Sean, I just want to get an idea here, like your perspective on this. What do you think? I know it's also just being childish. You know, when you're young and you've got money, and you're just making all the wrong decisions. You know, what do you think is the cause of that, or for you at least? What do you think? Because I know, for me, when I was, you know, I think like 2 years ago, I'm 24 now. 2 years ago, like 22 or 3 years ago, I was earning a good salary, not like you know, but I was okay. But you know, I'd be able to go out on weekends with my friends and pay for stuff and all of that. And I made some wrong decisions, you know, I made some mistakes as well. And I think it's just being young. You know, when you're young, it's just being naive and being immature. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Now, when you're young, you're fearless.
Yeah.
You're not worried about anything. So, like I told you, I never had money. So growing up, when I got money, I thought I was the king, you know?
Exactly, right?
It's like you were saying the same thing 2 years ago. But when you have money, all problems go away.
Yes.
You don't see past the money. And obviously I had to lose everything to respect money, because I never respected money.
Yeah.
Because we'd earn 100,000.
Are you serious?
And
Are you serious?
by the next month you'll have nothing.
So you'd earn like 100,000 from one race or from like a weekend?
No, for the month.
For a month.
Yeah, you'd earn that. And then, you know, our packages varies.
Yeah.
So this month you can make 100,000. Next month you can make 20,000.
Next month 50,000.
It can just vary. It just depends on how many winners, how well you're doing.
Yes.
Obviously.
And you are like 21 making 100,000 a month.
Young, dumb and stupid.
Sure.
That's how I was. I was young, dumb and stupid. I wish I could turn back
Yes.
what I had then. But I had to fall on my head first. I had to first fall on my head to obviously, to get where I am now, took hard work, determination, dedication, a lot of dedication. And obviously I had to get out of the crowds I was in.
Yeah.
Which helped me.
Yeah.
I was sober 5 years, and then obviously I met my wife, which I knew for a long time before then.
Yeah.
And then obviously we kicked it off from then.
So you met her in Cape Town?
No, she's actually a Durban girl. She's actually a Joburg girl, but her and her family moved here when she was younger. And obviously, when I went to the academy, that's when I met them.
Yes.
I was 13. I think she was 10 when I met her.
Yeah.
And we just sort of flourished. And then obviously we all went our separate ways.
Yeah.
She went her way, I went my way. And then a couple of years later, obviously I got to find her again.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back.
Nice. It was meant to be. So Sean, you spoke about friends. You know, do you think that friends was one of the reasons, and the people you're hanging around with, do you think that was one of the reasons why you were making bad decisions? Like if maybe you were hanging around different set of people, you would have probably not have spent as much money or made as many mistakes. I can actually tell you that with me, I think that was the reason. You know, I was also hanging around a lot of bad people.
But at the same time, it's your decision.
Exactly.
Like, we make decisions when we're young. Because you want to be that kid, you're going to make the wrong decisions regardless. Because I was always, without money, I was always that kid. Because I've got a lot of people who respect me. And I've got a lot of big friends. So I was always the guy calling the shots.
Yes.
I was that young guy saying, hey, this guy, we did all of that.
And you had power as well.
I had power
Right?
as a young guy.
Exactly.
So when I could make a life for my friends, I made a life for my friends. But obviously it was the wrong life, wrong decision.
Yeah.
But I'm forever grateful. I got to experience that stuff.
Yeah. I really like that point that you raised, that hanging around, certain people. It's the people you are the product of the people that you hang around with, you know what I mean, and your environment and all that, the people being the environment, you know what I mean. So I can really sort of relate to that. And even now, I don't want to lie to you, I'm also trying to decrease my consumption of alcohol, just because I need to focus on business and focus on making content like this, and focus on horse racing and building my brand and everything like that. And it's just being disciplined, right now I'm battling with, not battling, but I'm training myself to be more disciplined. I'm making baby steps to be more disciplined, to work harder. This phone here is also very much a distraction. Instead of picking it up every 30 minutes, I try to do it 40 minutes. 40 minutes becomes an hour becomes 2 hours. Next thing you know, I just make phone calls. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying to stay disciplined and just limit myself from doing nonsense. Anyway, so I want to ask you now, how did you get out of that? What helped you to get clean and to clean up your act?
My last day in Cape Town, when I left to come back to Durban, obviously after my year there.
Yeah.
We were driving, obviously my dad and my brother drove me back from Cape Town to Durban.
Yes.
And we were actually supposed to leave at 4 o'clock, but because we're partying, my farewell was.
Yeah.
So we had a big party the night before, so we left at 6.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got this heavy hangover. We're driving from Cape Town to Durban.
Yes.
We still don't know where we're going to stay when we're coming here.
So now this is you moving from just moving cities, because things have not gone well in Cape Town due to the alcohol and making bad decisions, and now you decide, let me go. And Vaughan Marshall, how was he? He's obviously not happy with your performance at the training tracks.
No. Yeah, obviously, I was always at work.
Yeah.
In the condition, I could never say.
Yeah.
But he was a fair man.
Yes.
And at the same time, when it came to races, I produced the goods.
Exactly.
But we're coming to the work point, like going to work and you're intoxicated. For me now, it's different. Because obviously, then I was young. I didn't care. I didn't worry about anybody. Whatever went. If somebody said something to me, I would be like, okay, it's fine. I would get in my car and I'll go. But now looking back at things like that, it's made me a better person. I've got 2 beautiful boys. Obviously, my wife is my backbone. Because in our game, you have your ups and downs. Stables not having winners, then obviously you sort of down. But my family supports me a lot. My wife's family too, they support me a lot. And I can talk to anyone out of them. My family, her family, I can speak to any of them. So I've got that good bond now at the moment with everyone. And that's sort of keeping me humble. And I will have to stay humble, obviously, for my kids, because I still want to ride for a long time. I would hope my younger one rides, because he's very passionate about horses.
Cody.
Troy. And obviously, he's the right build to be a jockey.
Size.
So, and all he wants to do is ride. So, I'm hoping to still, hopefully, be riding one day when he decides he wants to ride.
Yeah.
But if not, and it's his passion, what he wants to go into, I'll obviously guide him through the steps and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I don't know if his mother's going to allow him to go to the academy, but he'll have to take that necessary steps if he wants to ride.
Yeah. So I know that we could speak the whole day, Sean. But I want us to just talk for another like 12 minutes and just make this an hour-long podcast. You know, I've got a lot of questions I want to ask you, and a lot of things I want to sort of, because I feel like we're having a conversation. This is not an interview, and you telling me about your background, I'm telling you a bit about me, and I think that your story is going to be very inspirational to other people out there, you know, to young jockeys out there. The guys at the academy are going to watch this and they'll be like, you know what, this is inspiring me not to make the wrong decisions. I'm learning, you know, about myself and about what to expect, you know what I mean? And even some punters out there, your fans, they'll relate to you more. They'll learn some stuff. So I think that that this conversation is going to do that, and I hope so. So quickly, just tell me about how it changed, you know, because I want to know how it changed, how you actually changed from the old Sean into the new Sean. What happened? Was it your dad? What clicked?
You know what? I had to make a decision. Do I want to drink?
Yes.
Or do I want to ride horses?
Yeah.
And obviously, with me, as passionate as I am about the game, decided that I'm going to stop drinking. And then obviously I went on diet at the same time.
Yes.
And lost all that weight.
So you just decided and obviously took some work.
Yes, no.
It wasn't easy.
For anything, especially we got friends who drink.
Yes.
It's very hard. I would say the first 2 weeks was the hardest for me. Because obviously no drinking. Friends are drinking. They're eating pizzas.
Yes.
I'm drinking soup.
Yes.
They having Coke. I'm having tea.
Yes.
So at that stage, that was probably the hardest for me. But once I got over that stepping stone, everything just fell into place for me.
How long did it take?
I went on diet for 3 months.
Yeah. And were you obviously trying to, you know what I think, Sean? Here's what I think. I've for me, what's been working for me, you know, when I'm trying to achieve something, especially even right now, as I said, I'm trying to decrease my consumption of alcohol. It's not crazy, but I just don't like the amounts that I'm consuming, even though it's not like, you know, a weekend of just getting drunk. No, but I still just want to decrease it. And I found that for me, I need to achieve goals incrementally, small goals. You know, it starts with 1 and then 2 and then 4 and then 8 and then 16. That's how I grow. And just like how now I'm decreasing my consumption, it started with 8 pints and then to 7 and then back to 8 and then 7 again and then 6, 5.5, 4. You know what I mean? 3, 2. Because the more you achieve small goals, your mind you get happy. I can do this. You know what I mean? How was it for you? Were you consuming, you know, less and less and less and less, or did you just switch?
No, I just stopped.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just stopped because I couldn't go. Because for me, we open a bottle, must finish it.
Yes.
We must finish it. If there's 2 bottles, we're gonna finish the 2 bottles. That's how we drank.
Yes.
And I just decided one day, hey, you gotta. You want to have nothing or you want to have something.
Exactly. Do you want to make a life out of yourself or not?
And obviously getting the opportunity from Duncan House helped me. At the same time, Kone Ofo was like my backbone. He guided me through whatever I needed to go through. Obviously the support of my family was huge. But at the same time it took world strength, willpower, like they say.
Yeah.
But like for me, losing all the weight was a goal at its own.
Yeah.
Because I think I lost 11 kilos in 3 months. And obviously the Millers gave me an opportunity. Mrs. Miller gave me a diet, what I followed strictly.
What to eat.
Are you
going to gym or you just riding work?
Just riding work.
Yeah.
And obviously walking in the afternoons. But my diet, what I went on, consisted of only tea, soup, and water.
What were you like eating? Like
Soup. It was soup, water soup.
no meat.
No meat,
No
no
pasta?
nothing for 3 months. That's
Sure.
all I had. Friends would be eating pizzas and burgers.
And you
I'd
trying
be
an
having
apple
soup.
or something.
No fruit, nothing.
Sure.
That's how strict I went, because obviously I wanted to succeed in what I was doing.
Now, did that not like, because you need strength, you need energy. Did that not decrease your energy, or
You
was
know, that's where I'm blessed in a way, because I don't need to eat.
Yeah, you got energy already.
I got so much energy, you know. And obviously, I smoke a lot of hub. That's my hobby,
Yes.
favorite hobby.
Yeah.
And that helped me a lot, because obviously when I'm smoking, I don't want to eat. So
Yes.
I'm relaxing at the same time, smoking. So I was still social with my friends, was
Yes.
all drinking and stuff.
But
But I was in a different zone as them, you know. I was
Exactly.
chilling. They were doing their thing. I was doing my thing. I never took myself out of that environment. And that's why today I can sit anywhere with anyone and just relax with them. I have a drink now and then, but not like I used to drink.
Yes, 100%. That's good. You know, it's really inspiring talking to you, man. And I'm getting inspired and motivated to do, you know, what we were speaking about earlier on, to also just decrease my my consumption and be focused. You know, and this leads me to my next point. Right now, you riding, you know, very well. You know, you got winners almost every week. You know, if not almost every race meeting. And how do you keep your mind focused? You know what I mean? How do you keep I know you got a beautiful family and 2 beautiful boys, but what else helps you to just be focused?
Oh, you know, I like, it's obviously my passion, the game. So I watch a lot of racing all over the world. I watch racing. So I like to like chill, have my quiet time, smoke my hub. And then other than that, it's more of my kids. If their frame of mind is good and I come to races, I ride like a demon.
Nice.
So when things go well, always everything is obviously you always gonna ride well.
Yes.
If your mind's in a good frame, nobody can stop you in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're riding horses or playing sport, if your mind is set, you always gonna succeed in whatever you do.
Yes, I love that, man. Do you look up to anyone at the moment? Is there anyone that helps you, like a video that you watch, maybe a YouTuber or maybe even a person you know who just motivates the hell out of you?
No, I like watching cage fighting.
Oh, bro, I love that.
I love cage fighting, and that inspires me. You know, the underdog winning always inspires me. But like, I used to have, obviously, when I was growing up, obviously Washong Maung was my role model. Obviously, I used to watch Glenn Schofield, Sean Cormack. They were all my role models, you know. Growing up, always wanted to be like Anton, but mustn't tell him that.
Because you're riding against him now.
But, you know, because that was the first guy I saw when I went to Kenilworth, was Anton. And I was very young at the time, and obviously when we came into the academy, everybody spoke about Superman.
Yes.
You know, and we all, as appies, wanted to be like Superman. Now we're competing against Superman.
Which is amazing,
which
right?
which is the ultimate, you know. So it's always a very good laugh, you know.
Yes.
To say that we looked up to these guys and now we're riding against them, which is it's power.
Now, Sean, a burning question that I want to know, and I think everybody watching can attest to this. When can we expect Sean to bring home a Vodacom in July? When?
You know, I can't give you a date because I've only ridden in 3 of them. And this year, what's passed now, was the first time I actually had a little chance in the race.
You
and
ran
I came 5th.
5th?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got beat 2 lengths, but like...
That's not bad.
Yeah,
good,
but
actually.
Not good enough, you know.
It's not good enough, but it's better than 6th.
But you know, we'll keep boxing on at it as long as I'm winning graded races here and there.
Yes.
I'll forever be grateful for that, you know.
But definitely, I see you winning a Vodacom deal in July, probably in the next 5 years. I don't wanna lie.
You know, from your mouth to God's ears, I'm hoping. But if, like Jeff Lloyd never won a July, and still today still hasn't won a July.
Yes.
So if
Do
I don't,
you think that haunts him?
I think it does.
Yeah. Do you think it will haunt you if you don't?
I don't think so, because I've won all the other type of races.
Yes.
What there is to win. But at the same time, winning the July is like the ultimate, especially with the crowd back.
Yes.
Like now the July don't count.
Yeah.
The July don't count. There are no crowds. There was no owners. It don't count. It was classified as the July, obviously.
Yes.
But it wasn't the same feeling.
Exactly.
The first year I rode in the July, I had so much butterflies. It was like I was having my first ride. Because obviously the crowd and people cheering. I had friends and family here. And obviously at that time, that was like my highlight.
Yeah.
And then this year riding in July was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's no more race.
It's like a maiden.
We gotta do our thing, you know. So I can't wait for next year, because obviously hoping everything stays the same. We can have the crowds back for the July, people getting vaccinated. Oh, it will be amazing.
Do you have like competition with any of the jockeys? Some of them maybe they don't know that you're actually competing with them. I know with my friends in business, I'm competing with them. They're friends of mine. I don't tell them, but I am. You know what I mean? I can even name their names right now, but because it's even if they hear this, they'll be like, oh, this is actually cool. Me too. I'm actually competing with you. That's how you get better. That's how we keep it exciting. Who's your?
Like for us, like in the jockey room. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of us are friends.
Yes.
Young guys obviously got young families.
Yes.
But when the pen's open, there's no friends.
There's no friends.
No friends. Everything goes out the door. You can hear some things in a race you've never heard before.
Yes.
In a jockey room too, you can hear some things you've never heard before. But then, to be fair, now and then you'll be angry for a couple of days. But 90% of the time, somebody will always apologize, regardless.
About something that happened in the race.
In a race.
Yeah.
That's how competitive it is.
Yeah.
So when we walk out into the jockey room, we can still talk to each other when we're walking into the parade ring. We canter to the start, we're talking to each other.
But
when we load up, everything changes.
Is there a jockey that you want to sort of beat? Like maybe he's just having too many winners, and you're like, you know what? I've done that, and I'll do it as well.
You see, like for
maybe
me,
Woozy or something.
Like for me, whatever jockey rides a winner, I'm always happy for.
But you want to beat them at the same time, right?
At the same time, there's not many who can go past me. That's the difference, you know. That's the difference. Like, it's also depends on the horse you're riding, but I classify myself as one of the strongest in the finish.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you get beat by somebody, they're always going to give you that little chirp here and there. So when you beat them, you do the same thing.
Yes.
But that's what makes racing that much more fun, you 100%. Know. Like when you beat Anson, that's the highlight.
You need to tell him, right?
When you're beating Anson, it's the highlight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, obviously it's always fun when you're winning.
Yeah.
When you're getting beat, it's not fun.
It's not fun, yeah.
Especially when the owners had a bet on a horse or something.
Yes.
But when they had a bet and you won, you don't understand the feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't describe it until you feel it for yourself.
Jesus, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Veale. Thank you very much. And I hope to speak to you again. And I think we definitely need to do a documentary fly up to Cape Town and do something, about Sean Veale and how you grew up and just the dynamics of your background. I think people in racing and people outside of racing are actually going to watch it and be like, wow.
I won't lie. If I take you to Cape Town, you might not come back. But it will only be my pleasure to have you do a documentary on me.
Yeah.
I would love to show you where I went to school,
Yes.
where we played sport, what we did,
Yes.
where we hanged out.
Yes.
I'd love to show you that stuff, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Veale, the man himself, one of the strongest and one of the most competitive jockeys, one of the nicest guys that I've ever met in the industry. Now, drop a comment if you want to see that documentary about Sean Veale. If you want us to make that documentary, tell us down in the comments below. Goodbye.
Thank you, brother. That was amazing, bro.
Running after rain.